Right, I've just had a fairly big bass follow a panic prey literally all the way to my feet. It was right underneath it. So it's got to be some bass here. I have still never caught off the top. Could today change? That's the lure I'm using. White Savage Gear Panic Prey. Man, that was pretty exciting. I looked like a good sized bass as well. It's pretty, like, quite long. It was just literally 3 or 4 inches below, under the surface, just below the lure, looking up at it. Come on, wherever that bass is now. I don't think he's around here. Still plugging away. Fast retrieve, slow retrieve. Darting it across. Near the surface, deeper under the water. Nothing, no other action as of yet. Right, I'm going to move along and try somewhere, maybe just there, into that opening there, see what's there. We go, fish on. That slammed it, whatever it is. Not quite sure. It is coming this way. Where's it going? And it is a bass. Oh, it's foul hooked. That'll be why. Right, let's sort him out. And all I'm doing is I'm using this hard lure and casting it out into the center here, the opening, and with the rod tip held high because there is quite a bit of rock underneath here, just making it swim fairly quickly just below the surface. You can give a few tweaks if you want, slow it down, start again. Hopefully something follows it in. But I am going to have to move very quickly. The good thing about when you're fishing like this with your rod tip held high is when you get hit, you know about it. Folds the rod over, and the advantage you have is because your rod tip is held high already, when the fish hits it, you keep it like that and it keeps it near the surface, because underneath here is all rock and weed. And you don't want a fish to be swimming around that and snagging you, snapping you off. You know, worst case scenario is it snaps you off and then it swims off with your lure in its gob and everyone's a loser basically. But when you get hit, you'll know about it. I've switched over to Sidewinder weedless minnow, 30 gram. Just because it's a little bit deeper here than what I was just fishing over. It's still very snaggy, but and I'm stood quite high up now, so a shallow diver isn't going to be the best choice really. So I'm just going to have a few casts with this, see if anything else is about, see how it goes. When I got here, I started at those rocks over in the distance, and my brother was here as well actually, so he'll be a bit gutted he left. But we just moved along. I moved along after he left, switched to the panic prey, and after I had that follow, it just obviously it gives you hope, you know. You have a feeling there's got to be bass around. Not just the one, there will be, they'll be around. So obviously you just keep moving along the rocks where you can before the tide comes in. Just have a few casts in as many places as you can. And you know, you will stumble across some at some point. You know, a few places you try might end up being absolutely pointless, but at least you know you've covered it, and you can move on to a next, you know, the next mark, and just work your way around. I'm just giving quite a fast retrieve with this, and a few twitches, trying to keep it fairly close to the surface. There's quite a lot of rock underneath here. Right, I'm going to call it there, I think. There we have our first bass of the morning. This guy came out of nowhere. Literally didn't even have time to put the camera on. Grabbed that lure right below my feet. Literally right beneath it. The first one in the morning. It's taken on the duo tide minnow, whack a mullet. It literally popped up right, but I was literally about to pull the lure from the surface, and he popped up and yanked it. Good way to start the morning. That was about second or third cast. So I'm gonna get him back. Took a little bit of reviving, but he's gone back strong. So this is the lure I'm using. Duo Tide Minnow Slim 140, whack a mullet. It's about third or fourth cast that fish took that. Didn't really have time to do anything. Literally took it right down there. All I'm doing is just a pretty fast retrieve. straight in. There's quite a bit of swell coming in here, but just a fast retrieve, a couple of twitches every now and then maybe. That's it. See if there's any more out there. I'm pretty happy about that. It's always nice to catch on a new lure. And actually it's a different mark where I was to the other day, so it's nice to get bass in a few different places in one spot. Cast now pretty far, straight retrieve in. The tide's on the turn now, so what I'm going to do is have a few more casts here. This is over quite deep water, it's all mostly sand, but I'm going to move to my right in a bit and fish the shallower water over a lot of weed and rock and see if anything produces there. It's a lovely morning. It's about 7 o'clock. Low tide was at about 6:30. But I got here pretty much bang on low tide. It's just starting to turn now slowly. Not a very big tide at the moment. I just thought that with it being early morning, quieter, there might be some fish around. I've just moved along the bay a bit now. Not going to stay too much longer, just going to have a couple of casts here. See if anything's about, and then I have to go. It's quite shallow here, so churning up a bit of weed now as well. So 4 or 5 casts, and then I'm going to leave. It's getting hot already. In for another day of, I think, the high 20s. So it should be nice. So just one bass, one small bass for the morning, but always a great way to start the day. He just popped up out of nowhere, grabbed the lure as I was about to pull it out the water, tried to swim down, so not much of a fight at all. Obviously didn't manage to get a lot on camera, but a nice little surprise, caught me off guard, but a welcome surprise. I tried moved along as the tide was coming up and tried a couple of different marks, but nothing else happening. I'm sure if I stuck around for longer, something else might might come from it, but I'm going to head off now. It's 7:30. Head off and enjoy the beautiful day.